For 2 centuries, Western economics rested on a single dogma that almost nobody questioned. More choice equals more freedom. More freedom equals more happiness. Then a psychologist set up a folding table with some jam, and the dogma collapsed. Dreger's Market, Menlo Park, California, the year 2000. Sheena Iyengar, a researcher from Columbia University, arranged a tasting booth near the entrance of an upscale grocery store. One Saturday, 24 flavors of premium jam. The following Saturday, just 6. The 24-jar display drew bigger crowds. 60% of passers-by stopped to taste, but only 3% bought a jar. The modest 6-jar display attracted fewer people, yet 30% of them purchased. 600% more sales from fewer options. Iyengar published the results in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, and the finding detonated across economics, marketing, and cognitive science. She called it the paradox of choice. To understand why abundance can paralyze, walk into a modern drugstore and stand in front of the toothpaste aisle. 85 options in tight rows: whitening, sensitivity, enamel repair, charcoal, baking soda, mint, cinnamon. Your prefrontal cortex, the brain region responsible for comparison and evaluation, can hold roughly 5 to 9 pieces of information at once, not 85. Every time you try to compare price, ingredients, and brand across dozens of tubes, your brain is attempting a computation it was never designed to perform. Neuroscientists at the University of Minnesota measured what happens during prolonged decision-making. Blood glucose drops measurably. The brain is burning through its fuel. Researchers call this decision fatigue, and it is why you make your worst decisions at the end of a long day when the tank is empty. But fatigue is only the surface wound. The deeper damage arrives after the choice is made. Economists call it opportunity cost. Every choice is simultaneously an act of rejection. Pick one, sacrifice every alternative. 3 options means sacrificing 2. 100 options means sacrificing 99. The weight of those phantom losses becomes crushing. A bookstore in the 1970s. A shelf held maybe 40 new novels per month. A reader picked one, read it cover to cover, and discussed it at work on Monday. Today, a single online retailer lists over 33 million titles. A modern reader adds 12 books to a wish list, buys 3, starts 2, finishes none, and feels vaguely guilty about all of them. Watch the same principle destroy a Friday evening. A man sits on his couch, remote in hand, scrolling through a streaming service. Thousands of titles. 10 minutes pass. 20. 30. He finally picks a film. The cinematography is beautiful. Then a slow scene arrives in the second act, and his thumb twitches toward the remote. His brain starts projecting imagined highlight reels of 10,000 unchosen films, each containing only its best moments. No real movie can compete with that phantom catalog. A 2014 study at the University of Wisconsin confirmed it. The mere awareness of abundant alternatives reduces satisfaction with a chosen option, even when the choice is objectively excellent. Now type wireless earbuds into a major online retailer. 4,000 results. A customer scrolls 7 pages, opens 14 tabs, reads 40 reviews, compares frequency response charts he does not understand. 2 hours evaporate. He closes the laptop without buying anything. The retailer lost the sale not despite its abundance, but because of it. The companies that understood this paradox earliest became the most profitable on the planet. Walk into a Trader Joe's. 4,000 items where a traditional supermarket stocks 40,000. The peanut butter shelf holds two options, creamy and crunchy. A shopper grabs one without hesitation. No comparison, no glucose burned, no regret. Trader Joe's reports some of the highest profit margins per square foot in the grocery industry. They are not selling food. They are selling relief from the tyranny of deciding. Step into an Apple store. 3 laptops, 3 phones, the entire line on a single wall. Then walk into a big box retailer. 87 laptop models from 12 manufacturers scattered across a maze. One store sells clarity, the other sells confusion. Costco carries 4,000 items in a warehouse the size of an aircraft hangar. One brand of ketchup, not 17. Sales per square foot among the highest in retail. Limiting choice is a business strategy worth billions. A hotel and restaurant booking site illustrates the paradox from the other direction. A couple planning a weekend trip searches for hotels in a coastal town. 214 results. They filter by price, then by rating, then by amenities. They read reviews for 2 hours, open 30 tabs, and go to bed without booking anything. The trip never happens. A restaurant in Copenhagen took the opposite approach. No menu. The chef decides what you eat. 14 courses, no substitutions, no choices. The waiting list stretches months. Diners pay $300 for the privilege of surrendering all agency and describe it as the best meal of their lives. The absence of choice did not diminish the experience. It liberated it. But the most devastating arena for the paradox is not a grocery store, an electronics shop, or a restaurant. It is human connection. Open a dating app and the architecture of the paradox is immediately visible. Faces scroll past. Left, right, left, right. 100 potential partners reviewed in 3 minutes on a commuter train. A young man sits across from a woman at a restaurant. She is sharp, funny, genuinely kind. He is laughing. Then she chews her food a little loudly, a microscopic imperfection. His phone sits face down on the table, but he knows the app is there. 10,000 alternatives, one swipe away. A 2016 study in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that people who perceived more romantic alternatives reported lower commitment and satisfaction, regardless of how good their current relationship actually was. The mere perception of abundance eroded what they already had. 3 blocks away, a couple sits on a park bench, married 30 years. They met at a dinner party in 1989. He was one of 4 single men she knew. She chose him, never looked back. The smallness of the selection was not a limitation. It was a gift. Back on the dating app, a 28-year-old scrolls through profiles. 43 first dates in 2 years. Each person measured against a composite fantasy assembled from the best features of 10,000 strangers. No living human survives that comparison. The paradox quietly reshapes financial security, too. Inside a human resources office, an employee stares at a retirement enrollment form listing 57 mutual fund options in small print. A landmark 2004 study by Iyengar and Wei Jiang in the Quarterly Journal of Economics analyzed over 800,000 employees. For every 10 additional funds offered, participation dropped by roughly 2%. 2 simple funds, nearly everyone enrolled. 57 funds? Employees froze, shoved the form in a drawer, and did nothing. Run that paralysis through a compound interest calculator over a 30-year career, and the cost is hundreds of thousands of dollars per person. The abundance of financial choice literally made people poorer. The modern economy has noticed this pain, and entire industries now exist to sell you relief from it. A meal kit delivery box arrives on a doorstep. 3 pre-selected recipes, pre-measured ingredients, step-by-step cards. No decisions required. That is the product, not food. The absence of choice. Millions pay a premium for it every week. A curated clothing subscription arrives in the mail. 5 items selected by a stylist based on a quiz you filled out in 4 minutes. The service removes you from the dressing room entirely and charges you for the privilege. The paradox reaches into education with equal force. A high school senior sits at a kitchen table, the Common app glowing on screen. 6,000 colleges. Rankings, acceptance rates, scholarship matrices, Reddit threads arguing about prestige. She applies to 22 universities, gets accepted to 9, agonizes for months, and arrives on campus in September already haunted by the question, did I pick wrong? Her grandfather had 3 options at the same age, the state university, the community college, or the family business. He picked one, built a career, and never questioned it. The road not taken was short and visible, not a sprawling highway with 6,000 exits. The paradox even infiltrates medical decisions. A patient diagnosed with early-stage arthritis sits across from a specialist who presents 4 treatment options: physical therapy, 2 different medications, or a surgical procedure. Each has different success rates, side effects, recovery times, and costs. The patient goes home, reads medical journals online for a week, joins 3 patient forums, and finds contradictory advice everywhere. 2 months later, she has chosen nothing. The arthritis has progressed. A study published in Medical Decision-Making found that patients offered more treatment options were significantly more likely to defer decisions, sometimes until the window for the most effective treatment had closed. Nobel laureate Herbert Simon identified the architecture beneath all of this decades before the JAM study. He described 2 types of decision-makers. The maximizer must find the objectively best option in every category. He researches toasters for 3 weeks, comparing wattage and heating coils across 5 websites. He finds the optimal toaster. It arrives. One edge of bread comes out slightly darker. He spirals into regret over every toaster he did not buy. The Satisficer, Simon's term combining satisfy and suffice, sets criteria before shopping. Silver, 2 slots, under $40. She finds one that matches, buys it, stops looking. Toast pops up the next morning. She eats it. She is happy. Barry Schwartz's research at Swarthmore College revealed the cruel twist. Maximizers consistently achieve objectively better outcomes. They find the better toaster, the higher-paying job, the more acclaimed restaurant. But they are significantly less happy, more anxious, and more prone to depression. They win the game and hate the prize. The solution is not fewer products on the shelf. It is an internal shift. Choosing well enough and refusing to look back. Set a 3-minute timer before opening the streaming app. Pick something. Press play. Put the remote down. Establish criteria before opening the laptop. Screen size. Price range. 2 must-have features. Buy the first option that matches. Close the tabs. On a first date, leave the phone in the car. Evaluate the person against your actual values, not a composite ghost assembled from 10,000 profiles. True freedom in an age of infinite abundance is not the ability to endlessly browse, compare, and optimize. It is the discipline to consciously ignore almost everything, to choose with purpose, commit without apology, and close the catalog of everything else your life could possibly be. Because the only way to enjoy the messy, imperfect, singular reality you actually have is to stop imagining the 10,000 realities you do